not even show respect. You understand? So that one, they have a issue with that one. So when time come, they find that you see again they're not respecting us, and they're not even is respecting the one that they are playing the role of. But that one is not in their control. They get the offer for a job, they take the job. What is your duty as Black Americans? Of no, Afro Americans, you do not want that name any longer. I understand that. So what is your duty? The actor get a job, they are being paid. When the movie come out, you boycott it. You do not go to the movie. Simple. So when the white supremacists do it once or do it twice or do it three times, when they see that thing is flopping because they're not putting you all to play your own roles, then they will change. So, but what are you doing? You're taking the Africans and wrong. But it's the same way when they have pictures that project the African heroes, you also should not take their role. Simple. Then you have to leave the African take the role if it's African leaders of yes, of African heroes. Hmm. So the take a movie for Nelson Mandela, leave somebody from Africa played that role. You should not play it. Anyway, that is that case like that. So I cannot deny that the African is projecting mostly sometimes that things that is not positive. The using of the females mostly for their documents. When they get the documents, they are gone. They show a certain form of arrogance in the form from we are better than you, we are more educated than you. That is what they project. Some of them, that is what they say also. So not always is just projecting. Some of them say it. You understand? And I understand the Americans in one form, they did a lot of bloodshed to get certain things put in place, which the Americans the Africans is making use of now, and they do not want to acknowledge that. You understand? And that part, yes, I find sad. Some of them even do not know about it. I come to understand. Some of them do not even know what all the Americans fought for and what they helped to put in place. So they cannot even know to respect it if they do not even know that certain American bloodshed is involved. And I find it is a duty of Americans to teach them that. But most time when you see it, even here, now is a kind of less. You will see the Caribbean group sitting one way, the American group sitting one way, and African group sitting one way. Same black race. The white man does laugh, clap, he just clap. Anyway, so but on the other side with the Americans is weird. It's like the Somalians and Eritreans and the Ethiopians, as I said, do not mingle with them. So they find that one, and they also have negative words to say about those because the CEOs as the blacks, the African blacks, that they do not, in Africa self, they do not really mingle with them much. But you have to understand, they also have a different mindset. They do not really know this really slave, self-hate, even though the Arabs enslaved them. But it's a different enslavement in their own mindset than the Western enslavement. So they still one way, some kind of how like themselves. They love themselves. You understand? Some ways, even though the Arabs do not treat them as they're supposed to treat them, but they still find themselves a little more than you. They find themselves more beautiful than you. That is what majority, and I hear it from their own mouth, but the action also is showing it. But no problem, leave them there in the corner with their trouble. You understand? Simple like that. But they have their own arrogance. The Nigerians have their own arrogance. And then one thing they have in common, they always tell us we have no culture. That is something when they want to insult or talk rude with you, they say you all do not even have culture. So you see all of this kind of statement, a statement that is not making them to be beloved. Statement like that, a statement that is putting my people there more on high horse against them. And that is American also. So when they're telling them you all do not have culture, your men is useless, your women is useless, have different children with different fathers, your men is drug dealers and killers, That is what they really say. Nigerians, you have to accept it. You might say, I do not know about that, but that is a message majority of the time your people send around. You understand? I do not say it apply to all, but that is the message they send around. So they do not even know the history why so much the women have children with different fathers. They do not even know indeed these people are drug dealers, all of them. So that is the message is sent across. And one thing I heard Tariq said, the guy said, they was always showing on TV in Africa about the Americans, his drug dealers and killers, always shooting and things like that. Tariq say he's lying. He's not lying. He's not like I think maybe think the boy do not have no TV in Africa that show these things. But it's on purpose. Till up to now, I myself is in Europe for how long? You still see flies with mosquitoes and you see dirty water and things like that. In the Caribbean also they were showing us ghettos and as they call them ghettos. We do not know name ghettos. That is what they have told us. It's ghettos. Watch them killing each other. Watch them doing this with each other. Watch of the have-by, drive, shooting and all of that. That is what they show on the TV in the Caribbean and in Africa. So Tariq said they are lying. They are not lying. They even show it to us. You understand? You have to see. And you know what I noticed? The majority Americans, they know so little about Africa. In Africa, I see, and when I hear them talk, you see, we from the Caribbean, we know about bathing with bucket of water. You just throw water in a bucket, then you have your bath. We in the Caribbean know about washing cloth on our hand. We in the Caribbean know about lamp, kerosene lamp. So when you hear the American talk, they do not know much about Africa at all. That do not mean to say we know much, but we have a lot of similar lifestyle. But you know what happened to Americans, especially the black Americans? They're arrogant. They are very, very arrogant. That reason they mainly have problem with the Somalian, Eritreans, and Ethiopians because they know who they are. So this kind of humble to the Americans, they're not into that. And the other one who's very arrogant is the Nigerians. They think they're British now. British is very arrogant. The England is very arrogant. They was colonized by the British. So they also is very arrogant. Both of them is arrogant. And America, the black America, America is the land that think nobody is better than them. There is the best of the best. You understand? So America on its own is very arrogant. And like that, the black race in America, the black America is as arrogant as the country itself. Even though America is falling piece by piece, I hear they even giving up their passport to go live in other countries. But we are Americans. Even though in America they are being discriminated themselves, but they mean to say they are Americans. They built America, and anybody who come there have to submit to them. Not everybody, it's the only Africans who's coming there, who's mostly being invited. The Asians is there also. The Mexicans is there also. What are you going to do about those? They also is enjoying. They get the laws passed back, front, and center. The country you built. They're getting more laws put in place to defend them than you yourself. When you see in the back sometimes the white supremacists you are talking about, not always the white people who's doing their things against them. Sometimes it's just the Asians. I saw some place, one of them was complaining, they was doing some black woman hair, complaining how bad the black woman hair is. There was somebody from Latin America, fear Latin American person, bashing the black one with their hair. You understand? It's not always the white person is in the back of the scene. You have a lot of Asians that is in the back of the scene. Even a lot of Cubans, fear Cubans in the back of the scene. So not only the white people is oppressing them, yeah, but the target is the black ones, the Caribbeans and the Africans. That Tariq make it target. It's nothing uncommon. African also does that on the continent. Watch out South Africa. Anytime they're feeling pain, do they go burn down Asians, Indians, and European place? Is it not the same black one from Zimbabwe and Nigeria and that group? Isn't that group that always target? You see the common thread. You see the common thread of the black race. Americans is doing the same. But you see what happened to the Americans. I find it so sad. They're in some kind of dilemma. A lot of things is happening to them. They have a lot of things for them to go and tackle. And what they are doing, Tariq himself, I'm asking myself, and the Catheys, as I mentioned before, what kind and whose agenda are they projecting? What kind and whose agenda are they working with? One thing I know, at least 6 Americans from the 10 that is going back to motherland. All of them was in the army. One form of other form, there was in the army. Even the Pan-African group, they're very arrogant. They think they know best. They is the Americans. They could tell you how you have to go about it. You have nothing to say. Keep quiet. Keep quiet. Listen what I'm telling you. What do you know? As Tariq will say, shut up. You're under the flies. Can you imagine the insult? That is what the white man use. And most of the time the white man around us even do not use. We have our discrimination. Fine discrimination we have. But certain things the white man will not even tell you. He will not dare to tell you. He will keep quiet. His treatment will be fine, discrimination, but fine. Tariq, the words come out of this man's mouth. Hey, let me tell you something. America is in a mess. You know what I have to look at? And this is the black race in general. Our men are becoming more feminine. Our female or girls is becoming more males, more masculine. This is the black race in general. If you watch at the amount of even in the Caribbean, the whole Caribbean, South America, Latin America, these places where you have the blacks, they are becoming more and more feminine from young boys. You've seen already femininity in them. If you watch it even here in Europe, these boys is becoming more and more feminine and the girls is becoming more and more masculine. America the same. It is about even in Africa. Then you have to ask yourself, in the black race, what is going on? What is going on? The aggression among the black race is becoming more and more. Go and find out what is taking place there. What is happening? The self-hate. We do not need nobody to discriminate us now. We do not need nobody to bang against us. We are doing it ourselves. We are so busy with self-destruction. Do not make black men. Do not be involved with black women. Go over the borders. Go mix your seed. They are so destructive. They're even now attacking the Africans, they're attacking the Caribbeans. People like Tariq and people like Akati, what is their agenda? Besides looking for likes, what is really these people agenda? The black race, America have enough problem for them to tackle. I was watching a documentary from this British man. He went to America to study this clinic. For these kids, they say they have HIV, they are hyperactive and all of that. Pump medication on these kids from a young age. Even dog is on antidepressive. I was shocked. Then he asked the doctors. He went by some families and saying, okay, your child is on medication. What is it? One of the women said, no, she's more pleasant to be around. The girl's in her puberty. She said, in the past, she did not want to do nothing together with me. She just wanted to be going out with her friends. She did not want to do nothing in the house. She said, now that she are met, at least she's pleasant. She does talk to me. She's be relaxed. It goes about mind control. Short, mind control. He asked this doctor, he said, all of these kids on medication, how much of them will end up having a normal life? You know what the doctor answered him? He said 50%. The doctor told him 50% of them will lead to have a normal life. Can you imagine? What will happen to the other 50%? What also is turning clearer and clearer? Those old school shootings. Every one of them was on medication. Anyway, that is America. That is what the black Americans have to go find out. What are they doing with their children? I was right here in Europe watching something like live TV, whatever, and where they were showing these same couples, same sexual couples, two men, had a household with 10 black boys who they adopted. 10 black boys. One of these black boys, was having problem with the household he was in. The children was teasing him. He have two fathers. He had issue with it. One of them was telling him, your mother do not want you. He said, I do not believe that. They had so much a backlash here about that series that they had. A lot of black people complain, how can they have 10 boys in a household like that? They stopped showing it there. They did not continue showing it. Those things, the black Americans supposed to keep themselves busy with about the amount of kids that is leaving their house, that they are taking them out of the house, and where are they spreading them? They are losing like their kids like crazy. Do not mean to say here in the West we are not losing our kids. And let's be clear. Because I told you it's agenda paste, copy paste. You understand? So they want to deal with issues about the blacks. Look at how they're destroying themselves. Look at the amount of single mothers they're leaving behind for others to take care of the kids. Look at the drugs they are selling themselves, of his Caribbean, of his Africans, of their even blacks themselves. Tackle those type of problem. Tackle the problem that there are masculine men that they was known for very masculine, they're not making joke, to wearing dresses and wearing European hair. That is what they have to tackle. They have to tackle their men that is projecting them all over the world as useless. If it's Afro Americans of FBA who's doing it, of it's Caribbean men who's living there who's doing it, of it is African for the motherland, is they the one who's doing it, call it out. Call it out because it's projected on them. And if they do not want, and they know that majority of them is not like that, they have to call that out. And they will call it out to the Caribbean and they call it out to the Africans. Like, watch how you all is projecting us. that you will call up, that you make a program about. You understand? If they're projecting you and they're saying it's Africa is Americans, you call that out. And I suppose you will have enough people who will be standing behind of you because they're giving you the bad name. Those things you have to tackle. You understand? Embrace, try to bring in. If you see the Somalians and those types do not want to deal with you, sit down at time. Because maybe they are not even conscious of it. Maybe they are conscious of it. Maybe they do not want to deal with you. Is it by force, by fire? And they do not want to deal with you. They do not deal with you. If they have the arrogance with them, the other generation will slack down a little. But not the way you're going about it. And you know what I always learn? The others that keep silence is agree with you. You think you are bad. My mother always say, somebody is always badder than you. You think you're bad? You will find your match now. You think all Africans is going to leave you trample them. Even in Africa, they leave everybody trample over them. Oh. But they do not really like when the black people trample over them. It's a different issue. They will join and fight you, which they will not do it on the continent. But I'm going to come on the continent just because you also have your problems. You understand? Tackle them, the black men them that is making you lose face. Take your own responsibility. And you know what I noticed with Tariq? When Africans want to ask him question, even then when they're off, okay, how can we help? He just shut them down. Bam! And not even shut them down nice and polite. He shut them down with insults. Insults upon insults, and majority of the insults he's using is what the white man used. I do not even hear the white man talking those things any longer. I'm in the midst of them. Do not mean say they do not have that discrimination, oh. They have that also. Let's be clear. You understand? So what happening to Tariq? He is what he have to bash. He's not bashing. You understand? Okay. I have to ask myself, who is the FBA? Who's the FBA? Is the FBA parents both black? Black by black? Or is the FBA? I would like to know that. Anybody know that? Please give me an answer. Send me a reaction. I like to know who are they calling FBA. I understand it's Afro-Americans in the past. I understand they want to change that because even Elon Musk is calling himself Afro-Americans. The Nigerians try to hijack it. I understand it well. Understand it well. So they want to show there is the children of the slave. I understand that well. But Nigerians, consider yourself also. A lot of you is very arrogant. And please pay attention to that. And even though when you see your people behaving like that, try to correct them. Because that one is not nice. That one is not nice. But anyway, so I like to know because is FBA both parents black or is a child from Kanye West with Kim Kardashian? Is that also a FBA? I do not know. I'm still learning. Oh. But one thing I know, you see those group of kids, America, you're making them all over. Hmm? You're making those group of kids with Filipinos, Chinese, Vietnamese, Japanese, India. You're making them with all group. And some of them is carrying millions and billions. You think the Africans is forming a threat to you? My dear, you will see they will be your other oppressors. Hmm? They will be the other oppressors. You think you have trouble now? Wait and see. Wait and see. So you all have a lot of issues on the ground to tackle, a lot of cleaning up of your mess to deal with. And then instead of you try to ask others to help you, you is like you build the country. Okay, you build the country is good, is your sweat is good. But if the man who you build for do not respect you, do not consider you, do not even see you as even human being, you could continue shouting today till tomorrow. You could blame everybody today till tomorrow. Then you will see. Then we are coming to the motherland himself, Mama Africa. You yourself have a lot of problem. You have a lot of problem. I do not even want to summarize all the problems you have now. You see, the Americans, the Black Americans, have a mindset on its own that is still with the white supremacists. You see, all of us is sick. My uncles, my nephews, my brother, my sister, my auntie from the continent. All of us is sick. If you get them from the Caribbean, they have their own type of sickness to remain with. If you get them from America, they also have their own sickness. This piece I forgot. I was watching a program from George Judy. I suppose everybody know George Judy. There's a quote in America. This boy was together with his mother. Some rock was sent or whatever. I think the boy was barely 10 or 11 years. Then George Judy asked him, are you on medication? He said, yes. She asked, what is wrong with you? The amount of sickness this boy say he have. He say he's schizophrenic. He's bipolar. He's this. The amount of sickness this young boy, that they told him he is. Young boy like that. I even cannot pronounce the names of illness he said he have. Judge Judy asked him, your medication? He said, yes, your medication. So imagine amount of medication that boy, barely 10, 11 years, having a system. He even convinced himself. That is what they like you to convince yourself in now. How sick he are. He convinced himself. He have cyprus. My dear, I even cannot pronounce the names. Psychopathic behavior, antisocial behavior, schizophrenic, bipolar. This boy call up a whole list of illness that he have. Hey, go, Black Americans, go deal with those type of issues. What they are doing with your kids. Go deal with those type of issues, my friend. Then you get black boy walking with dolly, blonde dolly under his arm. Hey. So what are they printing in that boy? My friend, go and deal with the mess you have there and leave the Caribbean, the Afro-American, and the Africans alone. Go and deal with your mess. And Caribbeans and also Africans. Respect, show some form of respect. You understand? The continent of my forefathers. You in a mess yourself. You is in a mess yourself with your tribal this and your tribal that. We are coming on the continent. Not all of you is welcoming also. You are double charging us for everything. But I come to understand, even the Africans who's abroad for very long, when they come back, also you double charge them. You also have your Western mentality. One country more than the other. Nigeria, you are my senior sister. You are misbehaving. Nigeria, you are my bigger sister, my senior sister. You are misbehaving. You are not showing us how to be proud of our skin tone. You are not showing us how to even tie our hair, braid our hair. You are not showing us that, my senior sister. You are showing us bleaching cream. You are showing us a wig to put on, European wig to put on our head. My senior sister, I do not like that. Do not teach us to be westernized. We was born in it and we was brought up in it. We want to look up to you. We want to look up to the African. Teach me how to rap. Teach me how to tie kente. That is Ghana. Teach me that. Teach me how to deal with those African men. Teach me how to pay aware when they are playing their games. That I want for my senior sister. I do not want you to help me to westernize. And other thing is not only there, you are even example for the rest of Africa. You are not projecting very well for us. You are spreading these faults here. You are spreading this bleaching. Nigeria, I do not like that. You have your arrogance. We do not want these fancy type of clothes. I cannot even mention the names them. And these fancy bags. If you have fancy bag, you have fancy clothes, make them yourself. Make them yourself, and then we could buy from you. Do not propagate other people things to us. You are a very bad example as my senior sister. You are a very bad example as my senior brother. You want these fancy shoes, make them yourself. We will sponsor. Do not teach our boys how to make fast money. Do not teach them that, my senior brother. It's not good what you are doing. And then there's arrogance. Get down your horse, my friend. Get down of your horse. Huh. That one. The continent of my forefathers. This whole westernized mindset, we do not want. This whole tribe fighting against each other, we do not want. If you like us or not, we are coming. Oh, we are coming. So my senior brothers and sisters of the continent, that is also for all the rest there on the continent. Eh? Behave yourselves. Even though when you come in our midst, and when we come in your midst, if you know we are doing wrong, correct us. But do not attack us for things that you're not attacking the others that is on the continent for. So if we buy a plot of land 20 by 20, do not look to kill us while the others are buying plot from 10,000 to 10,000 acres. My black brother and sister, this self-hate, even for the continent itself, have to stop. And I want you to understand also how your people is behaving abroad. And that apply also for those who's abroad. Do not go back and make them think you're having diamonds and whatever hell. Let them know you're doing 2-3 jobs to make what they are making. Do not go back to them very arrogant. You arrive. Do not do that. Like that, we will never become strong. Watch how all over they are hunting us down. Do you think when they see black, they are saying it's African, Caribbean, of Americans? My friend, that is that for now. I have it very